Hey everybody, welcome back to our playtest of the second chapter of the Doomsday Dawn adventure for the Pathfinder Playtest. This chapter is called In Pale Mountain Shadow. In our previous session, our four intrepid adventurers headed up through the foothills of the massive volcano called Pale Mountain. They encountered some insect creatures and some quicksand. They fought off some gnolls, and they managed to drive off a manticore that was pretty angry that they were in its hunting grounds. So we're going to start this next chapter of the adventure pretty soon here. I want to remind everybody watching of a few things. One is that if you are playing the playtest and you have not played Part 2 of Doomsday Dawn, there are going to be some spoilers in this. So if you don't want to get spoiled on the adventure, you might hold off on watching this. It'll be on YouTube later. You can come back and watch it then, but you might not want to watch the live stream. I also want to mention that we are going to be, because we're doing this in a live stream, and these are relatively short sessions, we're going to be omitting some things, adapting some things so that it plays better on the live stream. So this might not be exactly the same experience you're getting if you're playing this in your home game. And we expect that, and we want that to work out that way, so that we'll give you kind of an entertaining show that's a little different from what you're going to be seeing if you're playing it yourselves at home. The one other thing I want to mention is we got some questions last week about the barbarian who's using a totem that in the printed version of the rules has a restriction that you can't use weapons. We're looking at changing that for the final version, so we're kind of playtesting with Sam's character a version that can use weapons and also her kind of bestial bite attack interchangeably. So we're kind of seeing if that still feels like it is that same type of character, and we're going to get the opinions of all of you watching and of Sam playing the character to see if we want to make that change or keep it with the anathema that it has in the printed version of the playtest. So I think we're going to go ahead and introduce everybody's characters and kind of give us a little bit of information about your character and about how things went for you last session. So we're going to start here on my left.
Okay, I am Sam Phelan. I'm a customer service representative here at Paizo. I'm playing Fenra, the barbarian, with the bite and sword attack that we just discussed. So yeah.
I'm Adam Daigle. I'm managing developer of Pathfinder, and I'm playing Ramona Advanth, human bard, and who started adventuring to find weird lore. Last session I really enjoyed. This was my first time playing a bard, and I really enjoyed that I had plenty of actions to help people out and still feel like I was doing stuff on my own, so it was fun.
I'm Jason Tondro. I am in the editor team here at Paizo, and I am playing Sebagar, who is a sort of a jack of all trades. He's a little sorcery and a little fighter and a nimble and running around the battlefield. So my job is a little bit of everything, but mostly my job is putting magic weapon on the barbarian.
I'm playing Marion Bosch, who is a half-orc alchemist. Last session he set a bunch of stuff on fire, melted some stuff, froze some stuff, I think, and performed surgery extremely poorly. So hopefully that won't repeat itself, but so far so good otherwise.
And your name and what you do here.
Oh yeah, and my actual name is Andrew, and I am a member of the tech team here at Paizo.
So in between last session and now, everybody's had some time to kind of, the group has taken some time to rest up, to recover from your surgery, and get ready to delve into the hidden dungeon in the side of Pale Mountain. So after the encounter with the Manticore, you were kind of pretty badly damaged from the day's events. So you managed to make your way up the side of the mountain into this kind of this scar across the mountain, this crack, this indentation in the mountain. You made your way up along this kind of very narrow path up the side of the mountain and managed to find a spot to kind of rest up, kind of stay safe for a little bit, heal up, prepare yourselves for adventuring further. Along the way, you'd seen some bodies of some gnolls that you think had kind of been traveling up here, but it looked like the Manticore had gotten to them at some point. When you get up here, you find this stone door in the side of the mountain that is fairly well concealed, but you see that the gnolls had found it and had kind of like picked it where they thought the lock was. And so after a little bit of study, you're able to find out how to open this door. It's kind of a tricky kind of puzzle to figure out how to open it, but you've done that, and you have found the passage deep into the mountainside where you know the tomb of Tular Seft lays before you. As you found out last time, there's another group that is heading toward the tomb. They're called the Night Heralds. These rivals of yours are heading to the main entrance of the tomb, which is through a long labyrinth. So, expecting that it's going to take them a while, the organization called the Order of the Palatine Eye has sent you to find the back door to this dungeon, and that's where you are right now. So, ahead of you is a narrow corridor heading into the mountainside.
We're looking for a large gem with runes on it.
You're looking for a gemstone with runes inside it that are ancient Osiriani hieroglyphs that are, that's how you'll know you've found the item you seek.
And they're counting down to something.
Yeah.
Right.
Something good, I assume.
Yeah.
It can only be good.
Probably a party.
Somebody's birthday. Yeah.
So I guess we should establish who's going front.
Well, we know who's going in front. Fenra's in front. The question is
Andy
where are
there.
the rest of us going to be?
I can be wherever.
Does anyone want to be in the back? Anyone particularly have a desire to be in the back?
I wouldn't say no to being in the back.
Okay.
I'll be right before him.
All right. So we're good.
All right. So, you kind of travel into this passageway, and it takes a crook to the left in front of you. Up ahead, you see two passages on each side of the hallway. One is kind of wider, and you see a little bit of kind of condensation on the ground in front of it. And on the further down is a little bit narrower path that heads off to the right of the passageway. What are you using for your light source here?
Question. I can cast light on something if we do not have another light source.
Right.
I have a lantern.
I'll cast light on the tip of your sword.
Okay.
Right. So you have a glowing sword. You've got a lantern for backup if you need
Actually,
it.
you might want to put it on something of yours. I have dark vision. So if we get separated.
Okay, that's fine. Then I put it on the tip of my sword.
Okay.
All right.
I
Glowing
have low
sword.
light vision, for what that's worth.
You're able to see pretty well in here. You can see that kind of that passageway to the left. There's a little bit of soft light coming from inside that room. The hallway to the right looks pretty dark, and it's pretty far away, but you kind of lose this hallway in the darkness as well. Which way do you want to go?
So, left or right, guys?
I say we check out the left. It's the first one.
And as you get close to that door, you can kind of hear the lapping of water, kind of gently lapping against the stone walls. And ahead of you is a set of worn natural stone steps heading down, and you can see this pool of water filling that room ahead of you, and there's some rocks standing up out of the water.
Can we tell how deep the water is at all from here?
It's a little hard to tell. It doesn't. You can't see the bottom very clearly, but you think if you would have to get closer and kind of bring the light up to it. From back here, it's a little too dark to tell much. You can see that there's a little bit of kind of phosphorescent lichen around the walls. It's not very bright, but it is kind of casting a faint kind of purple glow in this room.
So it seems like this passage here is an actual cut passage. Does this look more like a natural cave with a lake in it? Or a flooded room?
It looks... do you have the nature skill?
I do not.
All right, you're going to be making an untrained in nature check. So that is going to be your wisdom plus 2. I'm going to roll that for you because it's a secret check. So what is your wisdom?
My wisdom is... Better write that down. Oh, it's just 10.
Okay. Yeah, you're. It looks pretty natural to you.
Okay.
If you want to move your minis, I mean, you can tell me to move if you want
Let's
to.
head in.
Yeah. I want to check out the edge of the water.
Down here?
Yep.
How far do you want to go?
Just
Okay.
all the way down there to the edge.
Okay, go ahead and move all yourselves into position. As you get close up there, you detect some motion as something has taken note of your presence here, and we're going to have you roll initiative. It's going to be perception for all of you.
All right.
No problem.
We both got. There you go.
Hey, 20, me too.
Oh, nice.
So the two of us got 20s, and the other two of us both rolled ones.
What, seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how the law of averages works.
Perfect. Rules working as intended. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go around the horn here and get everybody's initiatives, starting with Fenra.
20 plus 7.
All right.
6.
Ramona? 6. Sebagar?
5.
5. Oh, put me under there.
25.
5. All right, and I need to roll for your opposition here. Here. All right, tight grouping. All right, Fenra, as you are entering into this room, you notice something, the water moving in an unnatural way. And it is over in kind of that far area there. You see that a form seems to be, it's not so much emerging from the water as the water itself is reshaping. And it looks kind of like a giant fish with a wide mouth. And you can see it kind of rising up, and it looks like it's getting ready to charge toward you. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the map. Jason, if you'll just put that kind of a little bit closer here. Just entirely in the water. There you go. Right there.
Fancy.
I'd like to...
oh, I'm sorry. That one's up here. You're detecting something else as well. That big rock there.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a pile of stone on it that is not just a pile of stone. Once you see this kind of thing, you're like, wait a second. That looks familiar too. You don't have a very straight line on it. You can just kind of barely see it out of the corner of your eye. There's kind of a pile of rocks that are moving in a weird way.
Like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely weird. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'd like to... Is this rock here in the middle something that could be stood on, or is it just like...
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, as far as you can tell, it looks pretty solid.
Okay. I'd like to
the way
make
the
the
water's
jump
moving
over
around.
to that.
Okay. So you can just take a leap action to do
Yep.
that since it's just 10 feet, so
Yep.
you can do that automatically.
Okay, great. And if they haven't noticed it, I would love to point it out to them that there's a rock thing back there. Now I can see it better. And
Okay. Yeah.
there's the water thing here. And then I'm just going to prepare to try and swing at it if it comes at me.
All right, so you're going to be readying action.
Yep.
Look
So
out, water and rocks.
If either of them gets close enough for you to attack, you will do that.
Okay.
Marion, you're up.
Can I? So I can see this thing. I don't believe I can see that because I'd be looking through a solid wall there. But I just heard her mention it. You know stuff. If I were to freeze this thing, would that hurt it or make it stronger?
Want me to...
You haven't come up in initiative yet. You're not on the ball. So when it gets to your turn, you can see if you see how much you know about it.
I will, in that case, use my actions to pull out a flask of liquid ice.
All right.
And then move down, I guess not too far, but closer.
All right.
While you think, I guess.
All right. So it is monster time. The rocky one, and again, you're the only one who can kind of see it. You see it kind of descend back into the rock. And it arises from the rock somewhere else. Yep.
fine.
Right back here
Good.
next to Ramona.
Oh,
Surprise.
Yeah.
The rocks behind you on the stairs, you just kind of see this form just emerge out of them, and it doesn't disturb the surface of the ground underneath it at all. It just appears out of this, and it swings at you with a big rocky hand.
Apparently it says the rocks.
Don't let this distract you. I still expect an answer on your turn.
21.
Oh, yeah.
You take 7 bludgeoning damage
Okay.
as it strikes you. And now the watery one moves, and it is going to come up closer to Fenra. However, it does not come close enough for you to reach it, because it is big enough that it can lash out at you with a wave of water. And you also see as it moves, the water around it is kind of swirling in this kind of vortex, and it looks like the water around it is getting more choppy. So this kind of wave comes crashing at you. 29.
yep.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage.
And suddenly it smells like wet dog.
And it's going to smell even more like wet dog as the crashing waves push you back and knock you back 5 feet into the water.
Oof.
Sheet down, like prone.
Swimming, yeah. So you are kind of splashing in the water, and then you need to. It's going to move a little bit closer again, like it's gonna bring you some more damaging waves on its next turn. Ramona, you're up.
First, I would like to answer Marion's query about these critters. Could I use my bardic lore for that? Okay.
You can.
I got a 19.
Sounds good.
All right. So normally I would roll that for you, but
Oh, right.
we're not going to worry about it right now. So you know that these are elementals, creatures of pure stone and pure water. You know that in regard to Marion's specific questions, you know that the water elementals are resistant to fire, but ice, as far as you know, doesn't do anything special to them. The earth elementals, you know they are weakened when they're not touching solid ground. And you know that the water elemental, similarly, if it is not touching water, it is going to be debuffed as well. You know that the touch of the water elemental can put out fires, and that the earth elemental, as you've seen, can glide through earth quite easily. You're guessing by the size of these things that the water elemental is significantly more powerful than the earth elemental. That is a minor earth elemental and a lesser water elemental.
Okay. All right, and for my actions, I'm going to start off with some inspiring words, hoping to bolster your courage. I'm also going to try to make that lingering, what do I roll for that? Oh yeah, my perform check. That's a 25, so yeah, that will
linger. One last piece of information, you know that elementals are resistant to critical hits and precision damage, so they are not affected by those because there's no vulnerable spots to hit.
Then I guess I'll defend myself. I'll take an action to pull out my rapier and then attack it.
All right.
And I will do poorly at that.
All right. That brings us to Sebagar then.
Sebagar will use one action to Ancestral Surge.
Okay.
And call upon the powers of Sebagar the Deadly.
All right.
And she was a real butt kicker too. And then I will cast Burning Hands on the square where the...
All right. What is your DC for Burning
Well,
Hands?
with +1 for Ancestral Surge, I believe it's 19.
All right. It has failed its save thanks to Ancestral Surge.
Cool.
Hey.
Sevagar the Deadly. 14 fire damage.
All right, 14. It seems to be fully affected by fire.
Excellent.
I'm
done.
That's it for Sebagar. All right, Fenra, we are back to you. You are swimming with this water elemental nearby.
I'll try to swim back to where everyone else is standing.
Okay, so kind of back onto the steps. All right, give me an athletics check.
Yep. Hopefully a better one this time.
You're not using the same dice, are you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think these dice like me better. That's a 13 plus 9, so 22.
Okay. That's a critical success, which means you can move up to 15 feet, though the vortex is making the water around you difficult terrain, which means it costs you 5 more feet of movement each time you move. You have plenty of movement to get up to the steps, though. So you do manage to make it onto the steps next to the rest of your party.
All right.
So that's your first action.
First action? Yeah, and then I'll, see here, move up through here and try and take a whack at the Earth Elemental.
All right.
Because I don't think sword and water just don't feel like that's going to do much. Sword and rock's probably not much better. 14 plus 9, so once again a 23.
All right, that is a hit against the Earth Elemental.
Then 8 damage.
All right. And these creatures, as you're fighting them, they kind of start talking to you, but it's a very strange language. So the Earth Elemental, it just kind of sounds like grinding rocks, clacking against each other, and the Water Elemental just sounds like various rushing rivers and streams and kinds of different cadences. I don't think anybody knows Auran Aquan or Terran, I'm guessing. So they're kind of speaking their own weird elemental languages.
Just start clicking some rocks together.
Yeah,
we could
probably
try.
say something. Yeah.
Huge insult. All right, Marion, you're up.
I kind of feel like tag teaming this one is not a bad idea since we can probably just run away from that one. But is it possible for me to get into a position where I can get adjacent to him?
Adjacent? You'd have to be there, but you can see it from here.
In that case, I will move around here. And having seen that it burns real good, I will take an additional action to pull out an Alchemist Fire Flask and peg it from here.
All right.
And I'm real sorry to both of you guys who are
you can resist fire,
in the splash zone.
Okay, give us that
Maybe
attack
I'll dry
roll.
off from the water.
Yeah, there you go. So let's give that a shot.
It does look pretty, it's kind of big and chunky and slow moving, so you do think that this touch attack is going to be pretty effective compared to a standard attack.
25.
That is a hit. That would be a crit if they could take
If
such
it was
things.
possible to. Dang. All right, and how much damage is that? That is...
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Escape dice.
Oh, it's down there somewhere. Anybody else have another
this
D8? I'll just use this one. So that is a total of 7 base damage plus 4 splash damage.
Okay. All right.
At least I did more to it than I did to you.
So it is
That was good.
kind of, you can see rocks just kind of sloughing off of it. And it, as it takes this one, it vanishes, it kind of crumbles into a pile and vanishes into the earth. But you get the sense that you haven't vanquished it.
Yeah.
But it has retreated temporarily under the ground. Did you have any actions left?
Nope. One to move, one to pull out the flask, and one to throw it.
All right, Fenra, you're up.
Oh, God.
So should I remove its
Already?
mini here for the moment?
Yeah, just pull it off for the second. Remember its location.
If you retreat, we will follow you. Just letting you know. If you want to go after the water elemental, we'll back you up.
Oh, God, my decision. Ugh. It's probably a terrible idea. You let me decide anything.
I can spider climb you if you want to walk on the walls instead of the water.
I mean, It can swim okay though, if we're gonna fight it, but I don't have anything that can really take it down.
I think it takes
so
sword
we
damage.
need another.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The elementals have enough substance to them that they tend to take damage normally.
I feel pretty confident that it's not going to follow us down the hallway. Right. If it does, then it'll be...
It's super weak.
Yeah.
But do we want to know what's in the rest of this area? Or do we care?
It kind of just looks like a lake.
We have a mission.
There's plenty of passages around here.
Well, we can come back to it?
We could.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm bailing. Nope.
All right. Okay.
Oh wait.
Marion?
Sorry.
Or, I'm sorry.
I don't think we're all moving yet. I think we're still
right.
at combat.
Right.
There could be something that comes between us.
You want to ready an attack,
Dun, dun.
an attack in case it comes after you?
The earth elemental, yeah, if it pops up, I will ready to strike it.
Okay. So are you generally trying to make an exit here?
I think so.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with that.
All right. So if you all kind of depart, we're going to. You manage to leave that area. They don't appear to pursue, but as you kind of get down the hallway a bit, you do see the earth elemental kind of pops its head out, but it seems like it can't leave beyond the doorway.
Oh, nice.
So you think they might be bound to that area magically.
That means they're protecting something.
Yeah.
Now I want to
now
go
I'm
back.
much more interested.
All right. Do you want to continue on heading down further into the corridors, or do you want to head back?
I think we should go this way.
Yep, now to the right.
Okay.
Oh, left was a bust.
All right.
To the right.
So you take a passage to the right. Ways up there, you see a narrow passageway to your right. You can see there's a set of steps leading downward, and you can feel heat, and you see kind of a red light on the walls by the bend in the passageway.
Something tells me it's going to be a fire and an air elemental.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You do know that the person buried here was a scholar of the elemental planes, so it does seem like
would
that,
follow.
That might be the case.
So these are like his pets. And we're gonna go in?
I don't know.
If you bound them, I doubt they were pets. In the same way.
We should at least check it out.
The nice thing about having pet elementals is that you can bury them with you and they don't die.
Oh, that's really tragic.
Well, we are in a tomb, so...
Yeah.
All right. So if you're heading down those steps, you kind of walk down the first set of steps, and there's a little landing there and a smaller set of steps. Ahead of you is a big kind of domed room, and there's a platform, like kind of semicircular platform in front of you. There is lava kind of running down the walls and cycling down into those kind of rivulets of lava and pooling in the bottom. And you can tell that it's kind of like the lava is just kind of constantly flowing, kind of unnaturally. So you think this is probably the result of magic as well. The entire room is kind of spherical, so you can see that there's kind of this big slope to the floor underneath you. It's kind of a bowl shape, and as you enter the room, you're going to roll initiative again, because this one is also occupied.
Can we get a bonus, considering that we were sort of anticipating this?
Sure, you can take a +1.
Sweet.
Going on perception.
Yes. It's possible you can run away before they even go. We'll see.
Alright, that's just being cowards, though.
I mean, Logan put a lot of work into this map.
All right, Fenra, what is your initiative?
18.
18. Ramona?
20.
Sebagar.
16.
And Marion.
Also 20.
All right. So, one of the monsters is going to go before any of you. because it is as fast as fire. So, if you don't mind placing that out there. And that one, so you do see kind of shape of swirling air as you arrive. And that one, let me double check the locations here. Okay. It's kind of hovering in the middle of the room, so it's kind of in midair, hovering up there. It kind of looks like it almost is making wings of air and just kind of flying that way. The fire elemental emerges from kind of the center of the lava pool, or doesn't emerge from, but that's kind of where it's hanging out. So it just kind of, when you first enter, it looks like a roaring column of flame, but it's a swiftly moving creature. And you have a pretty good suspicion these are more elementals. And the fire elemental moves quite quickly, and it is going to try to reach you on that pedestal and see if it can manage to do so.
I think you're at liquid water or ice? Or...
Yes, liquid ice.
Yeah.
That's I only have one of those.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I assumed the alchemist fire would be more useful this time around.
And it pulls itself up into that kind of corner nearest me, right next to Fenra. And you can feel the heat radiating off its body. Yep. And it kind of flies. It doesn't fly, but it kind of rapidly climbs the side of this, and it's right up next to you now, and just kind of this dancing fire. And it tries to lash you with this long tendril of fire. And it's going to go for Fenra first. That's a critical hit.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Critical burn.
Oh, that was a lot of dice.
It was.
That is 26 fire damage.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And you have 2d4 persistent fire damage.
Ugh.
So you aren't going to take that yet, but on your turn you will take 2d4 more fire damage unless that fire has been put out.
I have a lot of things on me that could make that fire worse.
I'll go ahead and put the dice right on it.
How about we don't do that?
I don't, yeah.
Maybe not today.
And then after it hits you, it whips out another fire lash. It's going to fling that at you, Marion. So we'll see if you fare better. That is not going to hit, because that is only a 13.
Good, because I wasn't carrying anything flammable.
So now we are up to Ramona and Marion. Which of you wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Where am I in relation?
Unless you want a bonus, and then you can let me go first.
You are 10 feet from it diagonal.
It's a good reason to let you go first.
Yeah, that is a very good reason to go.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and go. So
Okay.
benefit from that. I'm going to inspire courage and try to do that lingering. Got a 20.
Yep.
Okay. And then for my next, what can we?
Do we want to back out, or do we want to try and fight this thing?
Well, we're not off to a good start.
It's true.
hurts.
I'm gonna, for my remaining 2 actions, I'm going to do Forbidding Ward on Finra.
Okay. Forbidding Fenra against the
And as a
fire
reminder, that's
elemental.
+1 to armor class and saving throws against the target enemies, which I'm going to designate as that. Attacks, spells, and other effects.
Okay.
All right. Marion, you're up.
Is there anything that I can do to put out the burning barbarian?
You can. What did you have in mind?
Well, I'd love to not.
You can assist the barbarian. Whether you'll put it out entirely is
I mean, I could hit you with a flask of liquid ice, which probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, it'd hurt you, but.
Oh.
Well, you think if you can hit the elemental and do the splash damage from the liquid ice, that might help.
I like that idea. All right, let's do that. I will pull out my flask of liquid ice and fling it at the fire elemental.
All right.
Come on. Well, that's probably not going to hit it. 14.
14 is not going to hit it, so it will take the splash damage,
Okay.
which is 4, I believe.
It is 4.
And that was ice, right? So that's cold damage. It seems to be hurt significantly more from that than you would have expected for a normal creature taking that amount of splash damage. It kind of reels at the cold touch as some of its flames get snuffed out.
All right. Well, that's a start. Next time I'll try and hit it dead on so I can at least splash you.
Yeah.
Are you out of actions?
I am, yeah.
Okay. The air elemental goes now. And you can see, kind of similar to the vortex on the water elemental you saw earlier, you can see that the air around it is whipping around. You see the cinders from the fire elemental and the lava are kind of whipping in a cloud around it. Not enough to hurt anybody, but it makes it more obvious that the air is swirling all around. The air elemental comes over to a little further. That way, 2 squares. There you go. And or I'm sorry, 1 square closer this way diagonally.
Like that?
No, sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
There. That's good. Okay, so it kind of flies over there, and it kind of waves its, or beats its kind of ephemeral wings and causes a gust of wind that knocks into Fenra.
Okay.
That is a 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 6 bludgeoning damage, and kind of get buffeted by these winds. And it's got 1 more action, so it is going to do that again.
I guess we'll just leave and go in the other entrance. I think, it's probably not worse than this.
19.
That will actually not hit.
All right. So its last gust does not manage to knock you back, or does not manage to hit you. All right. That brings us to you, Fenra.
All right. Should I roll for the persistent damage now?
That'll be at the end of your turn.
Okay, at the end. All right.
And if you take steps to try to put it out yourself, you can give yourself additional rolls to try to recover from it earlier, and you can reduce the DC.
Yeah, I think I'll try and do that.
Okay.
And put out the fire.
What are you going to do to try to put it out?
It was just like smoldering everywhere. Just that's a good question.
Could you just try to pat it out?
Yeah, I think just pat all over.
So you kind of take one of your hands off your
Yeah,
sword
yeah.
and kind of are patting it?
Yep.
Okay, that'll do it. So go ahead and roll a flat check, which is just a d20 with no modifiers.
Sure.
Now that you've tried
20.
to... Okay, you put it out.
Nice.
And you are no longer on fire. And you still have 2 actions.
No more of that. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and enter rage as one of my actions, and grow my big wolf teeth, and take a swing.
Since you took your hand off your sword to
yep,
put yourself
and then I'll
out,
need to-
you can bite, or you can put your hand back on your sword, but not both.
Biting the fire elemental.
Do it. Oh. It just seems interesting.
Yeah.
Big bite of fire.
Yeah, sure. So angry now. I have teeth.
So angry you could bite a fire.
So angry you can bite a fire.
That's where the expression comes from.
Yeah.
We're all familiar with that one.
Right.
9 is a 26.
That's a hit. You successfully bitten the flames.
Successfully bit fire.
Which is bad. But you take
But
2d8
it
damage.
happened. Which one did I? No, there it is. Yeah, that'll be 19 damage.
All right.
Wow. That's
All right. You,
big bite of
you
fire.
really
Yeah,
take you spit out this big chunk of fire after biting it loose. from this elemental. It looks really surprised by this. Was not. I don't think it was expecting
the
that
rest
to
of us-
happen.
I don't think any of us were expecting it. Yeah.
You know, if you had any like leftover food in your teeth that's burnt away now,
Yeah.
you got some nice, just
It's
nice
appropriately
charred, smoky
barbecued.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sebagar, you're up now.
Better than flossing.
All right, so I guess we're gonna stay and fight. It looks like. So if I try to cast a spell, it's going to attack, right?
You don't know. You're guessing from what Ramona has told you. Elementals are not typically super strongly combat trained, and usually that's the kind of thing only like a experienced soldier or mercenary would be able to do.
Try biting it. That seems to work.
Yeah.
I am not gonna bite it. That is not in my plan.
Fenra tried and approved.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. I think maybe for when all else fails, the reliable standby. I will use one action to shield,
Okay.
and then I will magic weapon her greatsword.
All right. You have a magical greatsword now.
Woo!
And that's all Sebagar's actions.
Yeah.
We're back to the fire elemental. The fire elemental is it's going to attack using this die because it's the most fiery, of course. I think you're the only one who's attacked it.
Yes.
Sorry, no,
Oh,
you
no.
attacked it with ice
Ice.
actually.
I attacked it.
So it is going to come after you. So it lashes another whip of fire toward you. This is a 27.
That will most certainly hit. Is it a crit? I don't think it's a crit. It's not a crit.
So you take 13 fire damage,
Oof.
and I shouldn't have put this card away. You have 2d4 persistent fire damage because you are now on fire.
I get it. I now understand why people don't like being set on fire.
For science.
Alchemist, burn thyself.
Yeah.
It's having a really hard decision whether to fight the ice bringer or to just try to set as many people on fire as possible. But it decides that you have affronted it most severely, so it is going to come after you again. It critically fails with its second attack. Its third attack is a 16, so it is going to miss you with that one.
That is correct.
And that brings us back to Ramona.
Disappointed in you. Fire is supposed to spread.
I'm going to continue concentrating on the forbidding ward.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna use my other two actions, since everyone still has Inspire Courage because it's lingering now. I'm gonna telekinetic projectile it.
For a second I thought you said I'm going to tell a joke.
Which is a very bard thing to do.
Yeah.
That's why.
This one time.
Bards. Of course.
Ooh. I use my spell roll for that. Right?
Which one was it?
Oh wait, telekinetic. Oh wait, I've got
No,
it right
you're going to
here.
use your...
Just the normal ranged. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be ranged.
That is a 25.
25.
I'm going after the air.
All right, that is a hit.
Awesome. I like that. I did. Oh, what is this symbol? Is that 10? That is a 10. All right. Yeah, I do 10 points.
All right. So you fling this kind of
bludgeoning?
like, you fling like a volcanic rock at it that was kind of sitting around this room, and it punches into it, and kind of you see kind of this gust of wind fling this rock off in a weird direction, and the creature seems to be hurt by it.
Good.
Marianne.
Well, maybe I can actually hit it this time. I will use a quick alchemy action to create a new flask of liquid ice. And then, actually, wait a second. How many actions does it take to try and put out myself?
Usually one action, depends
Okay.
on what's on circumstances.
Okay, so I should be able to take one action to quick alchemy up a new flask, take another action to throw it, and then spend my third action to try and put out the flames currently engulfing me. All right, let's do it.
I like that you chose that order, too.
Well, you know, priority.
Alchemists.
Hey, that looks good.
All right.
That's a 26.
That is a hit.
Oh, well.
And that will do... What's the base damage on this thing? Okay, base damage is 1d4 plus 4. So 7 points of damage.
All right.
And it is, what's the word I'm looking for here? It is hampered 10,
All right.
which would be
That will-
important if it were going anywhere, but I don't think it is.
All right. So, and once again, you see that ice really seems to cause a lot of damage to it.
So I've made it angrier.
And do you want to? What do you want to do to try to put yourself out?
Let's see. Can I just drop and roll all over the ground?
Sure.
That's actually. What did you do? That seems. Whatever. That seemed to work.
I patted.
Patting it.
Yeah, patted it out.
How on fire am I?
You're pretty on fire. It's a pretty big. Like your armor is kind of catching on fire. Your hair is kind of singed pretty badly already.
Yeah, I'm
Try
gonna
and
lie
chop it
down
off.
and roll around on the ground.
Okay. So you drop prone and
Screaming
roll
in
around
agony.
a little bit. All right. So that's going to reduce your DC
So
to 15
dramatic.
instead of 20 and give me a flat check. So you're just trying to get a 15 or higher on the die.
Okay, that seems like something that I should have 25% chance of doing. Hey, I did it!
All right. You put yourself out. You are no longer on fire. The air elemental goes next. It has been attacked by Ramona, so it attacks back in kind.
Let's just run back to the water element.
I believe. Are you within 10 feet of it, or are you 15?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So its first gust just kind of blows your hair gently,
Oh, I'm in a commercial.
making you look really cool for a second. Its second one is a 17. Does that hit you?
Nope.
All right. And then it tries one more time, though it doesn't have much confidence in that one, and misses you again. Okay. Fenra.
I'm gonna swing at that fire elemental.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have a magic-y sword.
I do. Yeah, that's a 1.
Okay. Oddly enough, that won't hit.
Whoa, surprise.
Should have stuck
I'll
with biting.
I'll try it again though.
You can do it.
And that probably won't do it at a 11.
That will not.
No. I'll go ahead and do the third one. But...
All right. You always roll 20.
Yep, exactly. Which it is not.
Not a
So,
20.
No.
Okay. All right.
Best roll all the whole.
So
time, though.
you swing at this fire elemental, but the supple flames just kind of dart away from your blade repeatedly. It's definitely none of it's your fault. It's just definitely very good at dodging.
Yeah.
Sebagar.
Ray of Frost.
Okay.
At
At the air elemental, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, at Marion?
No.
Oh, okay.
At the fire element.
Oh, all right.
25.
That's a hit.
I think this does die 8. I actually don't have a spell description for Ray of Frost.
I believe you are correct.
Should I roll?
Yes.
Roll a 4. So plus any extra damage it takes
All
for
right.
cold.
So 4.
Yeah.
That appears to be significantly more potent.
And I'll shield because
All right.
it might attack me.
You bring up your shield of force again.
Yep.
Okay. And we are back to the fire elemental. It has been getting frosted from all comers. So it is going to lash back at you, Sebagar.
Sure.
See if it can light you on fire. It would really like to. And it has probably succeeded at that. Is a 32 a crit?
My AC is 23 with shield, so no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You have narrowly avoided being critically hit.
That's good.
All right, so you take 13 fire damage and 2d4 persistent fire. We just pass this around.
13
Those
fire.
have been putting themselves out pretty successfully. Yes. Sees you on the ground, so lashes out at you again.
No.
And you're prone. It got a 33, or no, it's its second attack. Lucky for you. But that is a 26.
26 will hit, but it's not a crit.
All right.
It's a good thing I'm already on the ground. I can just roll around some more.
Just keep rolling.
Yeah.
Does it critically hit since you're prone? Because you're taking a -2 from being flat-footed.
No.
Okay.
Barely.
Good for you. All right. So that's 14 fire
you
damage.
said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
14 fire damage. And you also have 2d4 persistent fire damage. You've been lit back on fire.
Those trick birthday candles.
Yeah. And then it moves away and kind of moves back 15 feet or so. Yeah. And that's the end of its turn. So, Ramona, you are now up.
Okay. I'm gonna spend one action concentrating on the forbidding ward still. I guess that inspire courage is helpful too, so I'll go ahead and do that and see if I can make it lingering so I can do more next time. I fail at that. I've got one more thing left. I'm gonna throw a shield up as well.
All right. You are shielded. Marion.
Well, rolling around worked before, but I have a feeling that it has a 75% chance of not working that well. What if I were to just create another flask of liquid ice and then douse myself in it on purpose?
That would probably do it.
Would it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the risk. I will take an action to make another quick alchemy, a flask of liquid ice.
Because you are an alchemist and you're making this flask of liquid ice, if you want it to not be quite as potent so that maybe it won't burn you as badly, I'm going to give you that option.
I would like it to not injure me as much as that is possible.
Okay.
Unless that limits its effectiveness of putting out a fire.
You think you can mix it. Actually, give me a crafting check.
All right, cool.
And we'll see how well you do at making that happen.
Natural 20.
Okay. You think you got the mix about right.
Cool.
You've created water.
It's called liquid ice. That is by definition.
All right. So go ahead and give me the flat check.
Okay. 2.
Okay. And I'm actually going to give you 2 because you're using this alchemical substance and you did so well on your check.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me a second one. We'll effectively say that each of the actions you've spent on this get you
10.
10. All right, you are still on fire.
Ah.
And you have one action left. Do you want to continue try putting yourself out, or do you want to do something else with that action?
I assume I'm less on fire than I was.
You're the same. You're the
Burning
DC
is
is going to
burning.
stay at
Yeah.
15.
I'll just
but-
keep rolling around screaming on the
Okay.
floor.
Give us one more. And then you'll automatically get a free one at the end of your turn if you're still on fire.
14.
Okay. Still on fire.
Yeah.
You get one more check at the end of your turn. You're extremely on fire.
Yep. I just
You get one
spread
more.
the flames around.
So give us that last one.
Okay.
See if you can roll up a 15.
Nope.
Okay. So you take 2d4 damage. Jason, do you mind rolling that?
I sure
So
wish
you
I
take
could roll
6
that.
more fire.
Well, when I'm doing damage to somebody else.
All right.
Except
it
for
is
us.
the
Yeah.
air elemental's turn,
Deliberately doing damage to somebody else.
and it is going to buffet Ramona and Fenra with winds. It's going to start with Ramona, just because it likes you less. 18,
Nope.
and Fenra a 20. Does that hit you while you're raging?
Yes, just barely.
5 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And for good measure, it's going to throw another one at Ramona. And misses. Okay. Fenra, you're up.
All right.
So there's a fire elemental over there surrounded by, you can tell that's very warm lava. You can feel the heat radiating off it. You think if you get close to it, it will probably burn you. And then there's the air elemental, which is closer. It's floating a little bit above the platform there. But if you think if you get over to the edge of the platform, it would be within reach of you.
Okay, then
It's still up in the air, but just 5 feet out.
I will go for that air elemental.
Okay.
Move and then swing at it. That's a 17.
That's a miss.
Alright, I'll do the second one.
With the +1 from Inspire Courage?
And magic weapon.
Oh, and magic weapon, so 18.
Still a miss.
Dang it, yeah.
We're reaching.
Does Inspire Courage apply to saves?
No.
Oh. All right.
Wait. Yes, saves against fear.
I'm really afraid
Afraid
of
of the
continuing to be on fire. Yeah.
And that one's a 1 again,
Okay,
so...
that's not going to hit either.
No,
All right.
Hmm.
You're chopping at the air, and weirdly, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Sebagar.
I will Ray of Frost the fire elemental,
Okay.
but an 11 will miss.
It will miss.
And then I will try to put myself out with
Okay.
my spare hand.
So your hand's kind of already covered in frost. So you're just kind of like,
Yeah, let's aim this. But I only rolled a 6, so that fails.
Okay. Then at the end of your turn, you get another.
Picturing like a
flat
pressure
check to
washer.
try to
Just
17.
Okay. You have already done something to try to recover, so that is going to. end
Okay,
the
so I don't
flames
take
before
this.
you take the damage.
I don't take
That's
that.
correct.
Okay, cool.
So just Marion needs to hold on to that.
All
card
yours,
for the moment.
baby.
well, for now.
Unless somebody else gets lit on fire right now, say.
No.
The fire elemental is kind of taking stock of things, and it has kind of leapt down off of the ledge and kind of moved back. It is going to kind of move around underneath the air elemental. Just put it next to it, and right there, yeah. Because with the ledge, it has to kind of lash up over around the side of the ledge to try to whip you with fire. You have cover from it because of the angle that it's operating at. Actually, no, it's a little too big for that. So it's tall enough it can just kind of lash at you without having to worry about cover. And it misses real bad on the first one and on the second one. That's all it had because it moved.
That's right.
That is right. Ramona, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to Inspire Courage. Let's see if I can make it stick around. That's a 22. So
All right, that'll linger.
And then second action, I'm going to keep the Forbidding Ward up. I don't have a good one action thing. How about just... Yeah, I'll just do shield again.
Okay, you are shielded. Marion.
I guess I'll continue to try and not be on fire.
Okay.
So I only get, so I have 3 actions. Can I try 3 times if I fail?
You can try 3 times.
Okay.
You can also, now that the fire elemental, it's not quite adjacent to the water elemental, so it would not, splash damage would not hit the water or the air elemental because it's flying up above.
Got it. Yeah, my pressing concern right now is to no longer be engulfed in flames. So let's work on that. Oh yeah,
All right,
cool.
flames
I really
go
like
up.
this die.
You've
It's
got
been
2
nice
actions
being a
left.
Freezing.
Yeah, I'll try, and I'll just stay down
Are
here.
you mixing
I'll stay down here on the ground
liquid
because
ice
I know where this is going. Yeah, I will mix up another flask and fling it at the water elemental from down here.
All right.
And then when he sets me on fire, I'll be conveniently placed to roll around some more.
You are taking a -2 because you're prone. I'm going to go ahead and give you that card while you're on the ground there.
Okay.
So you kind of fling liquid ice in an arc to hit it there.
Nope. But it still does splash damage.
All right. So
Which
it takes
is
4
4.
splash damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it is kind of sputtering and guttering, and you can see it's just kind of like barely holding itself together at this point. And it's the air elemental's turn, and it is going to try to hit Fenra. So you're right next to it. It actually backs up. It kind of flies upward and diagonally away 5 feet, and I think that's an 18.
That will miss.
And worse. And worse. All right. Sorry, I didn't get that turn attack. All right. So, Fenra, you're now up.
Okay, I'm fatigued this turn.
Okay. And you've got a elemental right next to you and another one attacking you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for swinging at the fire elemental.
Okay.
That one will be a 19.
Is that including the Inspire Courage?
Yep.
Okay, that is a miss.
Ugh.
And is it including the +1 from the magic? Okay, just checking.
See, we got you to do it now.
When it's that close,
No, I just
GM's on our
can't
side, man.
roll
You
high
can tell.
enough. And
Do you want to give it another shot?
yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it once more without hurting my AC too much. That's the exact same number, a 9. So no.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's my turn.
All right. That will bring us to Sebagar.
Ray of Frost on the fire elemental.
Okay.
That's a crit.
Okay.
20.
That is going to hit. And how much damage?
Well, of course, I rolled a 1.
Okay. So 1 damage.
But do I roll again because it's critical? I roll.
No, because these are immune to criticals.
Oh, that's right. Of course.
But 1 damage plus its weakness to
Oh, that's
cold
just added.
is exactly enough to cause it to sputter out.
Nice.
When it dies, it explodes in a massive fireball. Everybody within 10 feet of it.
That's all of us.
Everybody except for Sebagar.
Okay.
You all need to give me reflex saves.
Cool. Lying on the ground makes
get a
you
+1
more
for this.
effective.
Yeah.
Actually, it might.
I remember.
He might have cover.
You do have cover.
Yeah.
Since you're lying on the ground. I lost a die out there. There you go.
Maybe it's a reflex save versus fear. I'm sorry.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so the DC is
That's like the 5th time that's happened.
18. If you, what did everybody get? Who succeeded?
29.
Okay.
He rolled a 20.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then you take no damage.
16.
16, you failed.
Yep.
I didn't have to roll.
Sorry, for a moment.
23.
23. So you succeeded, but you didn't critically succeed, so you'll take half damage or you'll take full damage.
Okay.
The damage is 15.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the air elemental damaged?
It is. Potentially, unless it critically succeeds. It failed, so it actually does take
Nice.
15
I already forgot what
damage.
that damage was.
15.
15.
You all right?
Okay.
Getting the brains knocked out of me.
And as it kind of explodes and evaporates, you notice something that kind of spinning in the air as it dissipates is this little gemstone. This kind of like square-sided gemstone. And it kind of plinks down to the ground below and kind of bounces a couple times and ends up... Oops, sorry about that. It ends up kind of in between Fenra and the lava, kind of 10 feet from Fenra, straight that way.
Like here?
That's exactly right. Thank you. And I believe that was it for Sebagar?
Yeah.
'Cause that was all on your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can pull this guy off the board, which means it's now Ramona's turn.
Since that thing's dead, I'm going to stop concentrating on the forbidding ward. I am going to inspire courage. Or is it still it's still lingering from last time? Sweet. So I have 3 actions. I'm going to telekinetic projectile it. Hopefully, no. I doubt that will work. Then with one more action, guess I'm just gonna keep shield up.
Okay. Marion.
I'm okay down here, I think. Ooh, I know. I'll try Battle Medic on myself.
Oh, good luck.
Sorry, I imagine Mary like strangling himself.
I just need to remove all of the burning skin.
That's the answer.
So let's see. Just checking real quick again to see how that works, because I don't really remember.
Here you go.
Oh, perfect. Battle Medic. So DC 20 medicine check. I can make that. I won't, but I can. I got another 20.
Okay.
Jeez.
Wow.
You critically succeeded.
You're
Yeah.
not going to get any more for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, I mean, this right here is more than I've gotten in any other games, like, for the last 6 months, total, combined. All right, yeah, so.
So you get all the hit points for a critical success.
See, guys, it does work. If the patient is cooperative.
I think we're just seeing where your priorities lie.
So the air elemental goes now. We are getting a question from the chat asking how you count diagonals on things with reach. Normally you count them the same as you would movement. The exception is if something has 10 feet, because it can still reach out to 10 feet diagonally if it has that reach. It can't just reach adjacent to it.
I see.
Speaking of which, this air elemental does have reach with its gusts, and it is trying to buffet Marion on the ground there. So you feel perhaps a gentle breeze, perhaps a stiff breeze. We'll see. That is a 23. So
That'll hit.
it's going to be a moderately stiff breeze for 10 bludgeoning damage.
Joke's on him. That's the exact amount that I just recovered with my surgery.
I think its second one is probably going to miss you because that's a 17. I think even with being flat-footed, that's a miss if I remember correctly.
That is, we get one from courage, right?
What's that?
Do we get any AC from courage?
No.
Then no, it is exactly what you did.
Exactly. Yay. See if we can roll 6 on the damage die again. Not that time. 7 more damage.
All right, precariously close to unconsciousness.
It kind of floats away toward the middle of the room. Kind of
Me
out
too.
Out
A
of
little
reach.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little dizzy.
All right. Finra, what would you like to do?
I want to go pick up that stone.
Okay. So you hop down there. You think if you kind of move into its square, you would probably start getting lavaed, but you can kind of try to grab it quickly from where you are.
Okay.
But you're going to need to give me an acrobatics check to kind of do that safely.
Yeah, sure. A 21.
Okay. Yep. You snatch that gem up. It's a little kind of red gem. You can feel it's kind of warm to the touch.
Okay.
And you've got that in your hand now. And you have 1 action left.
I'm gonna try and get back up onto the platform.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Yeah. That one is a 15.
Okay, you kind of start climbing up, but you don't manage to make any progress. You kind of slip back down, and you're back down in the kind of bowl of the floor. Sebagar.
Sebagar draws his wand of magic missiles and uses 2 actions on the air elemental.
All right.
Cannot read these dice. 7 plus 2 is 9.
All right. That is enough to cause the air elemental to poof away.
2 and 1 encounter.
And
Wow.
a circular or spherical gem, cloudy white, drops and plops right down into the lava where underneath.
Would you
where
mind
the-
fetching that? Since you're already down
actually,
there.
let's find out if it goes into lava. We're going to do a scatter diagram because there's
fetch.
still these blowing winds around it.
You know.
We'll see
also
if you get lucky. And,
Yeah, we can mage hand it. Yeah.
You have that as well?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't.
it ends up kind of diagonally that way. So if you want to mage hand it, you can mage hand it.
Okay.
It'll take you a little while. So all right. So you've collected these 2 gems from these elementals. and vanquish the ones in this room. And we are going to take a break right now, and we're going to return to the stream in about 10 minutes and continue with this part of the adventure.
Nice.
With perhaps a little bit of time jump in between. So we'll see everybody back then.
Cool.